Hi, good evening, Cathy. So there was an estimated around about 14 million people who were food insecure pre-COVID-19, and it's estimated that that figure has now doubled. So we have a huge crisis on our hand.
Let's speak about how this translates itself in communities. So organizations like yourself that have long been providing food support to many communities, are you still able to do that? And how increased is the need just within the spaces that you work in?
Well, Cathy, our normal distribution process is to distribute directly to early childhood development centers, where the children will eat our meals and cooked at the facility. So we have, of course, with the lockdown and all the ECDs being closed, we've had to sort of redesign our entire distribution model. So what we took on is we decided to distribute to other NGOs within the food space and support them with our meals. So the various NGOs, disaster relief organizations, and community forums that have sort of come together. So we're trying to do our best to prop them up and support them with our meals.
Sure. And in as much as NGOs are trying to do their bit, it doesn't seem to be enough right now.
No, I mean, the problem is huge. And I think even the Solidarity Fund were also just totally overwhelmed with the number of requests they've got. And I think it's a different story, when you go out to do a distribution and you meet some of the beneficiaries, there's a whole different feeling out there at the moment. Some people who might have got 1 or 2 days a week part-time work, they're no longer able to do that. So there's a real sense of desperation and helplessness amongst many people, and I think that's what's causing so much sort of really panic and anxiety with people, because it just seems so hopeless out there. We get inundated every day with calls and emails for support, and just going through some of those emails and reading the stories of the conditions people are living under, it's horrific. It's really a big problem.
Sure, Brian. I wonder, if you can share 1 or 2 of those stories with us tonight.
I was reading an email early on today where someone, just asked for assistance. She said that, she was supporting her elderly grandmother, who also happens to be in adult diapers, and there's another child in the house as well that she's responsible for supporting, and they just have no way of accessing any food. And that's the sort of the common trend. People just say, I can't get work. We got a Facebook message today about a lady who's a waitress, and she obviously has been unemployed for over a month. And she has 2 kids in the house, and she just has no way of accessing food, and she's not getting any food parcels. And these are the kind of stories that we hear constantly, which is very, it's very sad.
Is there a different approach that could be taken, not just by the state, but I imagine business in this particular situation would also be in a better off position to contribute to alleviating the problem?
Well, I think corporate SA has certainly stepped up. A lot of our regular donors that support us during the year, they're in constant contact with us. A lot of them want, obviously want to assist in donating meals to certain areas or to the areas where, community areas, specifically where their staff come from. So we are getting a really good response and support. I spoke the other day about collaboration, and I think certainly amongst the NGOs, for the first time, we've seen real collaboration, working together. We have one NGO who we work with. They got a donation. Well, a corporate wanted to donate money to them for meals, and they said, no, we're working with Rise Against Hunger. Just donate straight to them, and we'll pick up the meals. So, which is quite a big thing, but perhaps maybe a platform where NGOs can really come together and say, right, these are the areas we're working in, this is what we can offer, and some sort of coordinated attempt. But at the moment, I think everyone was just caught off guard, and everybody's just scrambling to meet the needs of the beneficiaries that they usually look after. But as this goes on, I think we're going to need to start coordinating it from an NGO perspective, from a DSD perspective, and just start really having a look where the problems are and how we can meet the challenge.
Sure. And of course, one of the biggest challenges right now is that there seem to be pockets of our society that have simply been left out in as far as the relief that is being issued. And those are especially the people who are not close to any of the economic hubs that exist within the country. How do we begin to change that?
I think there's also quite a bit of a drive. We've had a lot of corporate donors approach us, and they've requested meals to be specifically freighted to places in the Free State, the Northwest, Northern Cape. Those outlying areas are really battling. So there is quite a bit of a shift, I'm pleased to say, and a lot of NGOs are also saying, is there a possibility for meals? We need to freight them to various areas in KwaZulu-Natal, etc., because certainly those people out in the rural areas are falling through the gaps. So it is starting to be addressed, and wherever we get these requests, we're trying to meet them and to get these meals out to these areas. But there again, we need perhaps a bit more of a coordinated approach amongst all the NGOs, of where we're working, who's going to focus on which area. So I think that's certainly going to have to take place at some stage.